Alright, so this is the intro and conclusion outline video for writing an analytical essay. This is not the only way that you can write an introduction and conclusion paragraph. There are a lot of different formats that you can use in your own writing, as I'm sure you have already done in your academic career, and even when just writing an intro and a conclusion to maybe an email or a letter or something like that. But this is a really good surefire bet if you want just a simple way to structure your intro and your conclusion paragraph. So we're going to start in this simple format. We're going to start with a hook or a global statement. All right, and it's important that your hook and your global statement remain about the big themes of your essay or maybe about the book. So in your global statement, you might think of like a camera lens. You're zooming out to the major topics and the major themes of your essay before you get to the actual book. So connect it to an outside idea and an outside theme first. For example, if you talk a lot about the theme of individualism in your essay, you could have a global statement or hook that talks about how important it is to be an individual or what it means to be an individual. I'm going to use an example from maybe a book that you may have read last year. Let's say you're writing an essay on Fahrenheit 451 and you want to, or maybe one of the things that you discussed was the idea of censorship. Your hook and global statement could be about book banning. And of course I need to use spell check because my goodness, my spelling is atrocious. Censorship and book banning has been an issue throughout history. So that could be my hook or global statement. Notice it works as a hook because it catches your reader's attention, but it's also a global statement, meaning it applies to everyone. It's hard to argue with. It's hard to argue that censorship and book banning hasn't been an issue throughout history, or at least a theme or an idea throughout history. So it's hard to argue against. You're not going to alienate your audience by having something super controversial. And it doesn't yet mention the book because that's for sentence 2. Sentence 2, and it can be anywhere from maybe 2 to 6 sentences. I've seen really good essays where there's a lot of background. Background and context are going to be our next sentences. So here we're going to take that sentence that we just read or wrote and connect it to the book. So we're zooming in. We're starting to zoom in into the actual book or the text that you're writing about and the ideas you're going to have in your essay. So it says 2 to 3 sentences of background. I've seen really effective essays with more than that. That's fine. As long as you're connecting your hook or your global statement to your thesis. So in these sentences, we're going to bridge the gap between the global statement, where you introduce the big ideas, to the specific author and text. A really easy way to do this is to take your global statement and to write a phrase, like kind of a turning phrase, like a transition phrase. For example, you could write, this is, or let's see. So you're connecting it to the book, or a phrase like, or a sentence like, maybe that. And Ray Bradbury touches on this theme in his book Fahrenheit 451, or emphasizes this theme in the book Fahrenheit 451. And then we're going to continue with our background because you're working your way into your thesis statement or your argument. And that's what sentence 3 or part 3 of your outline of your intro is going to be. So your thesis statement needs to combine your claims into one sentence and or capture the overall argument of your essay, okay, on the book. So it should most often be 3-pronged, meaning you're going to have your 3 claims, or if you wrote 2, it would be 2-pronged, and stemmed. 3-pronged, stemmed is the same word for pronged, and parallel, meaning each one is going to have equal weight in the sentence. Okay, so continuing on with the background, Ray Bradbury emphasizes this theme in his book Fahrenheit 451. In the book, or in the world of the book, other story, we'll go story. Books are banned and burned with no exception. Oh, I like the alliteration there. Again, my spelling is atrocious. There we go. Thesis statement, and then we're going to combine our claims into one sentence that captures the overall argument of your essay. Three-pronged, stemmed, and parallel. So let's say the entire essay is about censorship. I might write a thesis that says censorship harms society by limiting knowledge, creating barriers to learning, and by eliminating freedom of expression. Okay, so notice how those are equal weight, meaning parallel. Harms society by limiting knowledge, creating barriers to learning, and by eliminating free. So each one starts with a verb. So your thesis phrases that match up with your claims, kind of combining your claims into one sentence, are going to each kind of carry equal weight. So they're stemmed and parallel, meaning there's three pieces, or if you had two body paragraphs, it's two pieces, and then parallel. If you need help building your thesis statement, again, you're going to combine your claims into one sentence. Look at the claims that you have in your essay, try to sum them up into one sentence. That might shorten the claims a little bit, and then make sure you capture the overall argument of your essay. Some of you might want to actually put kind of a little bit of your call to action into your thesis, which could be, you could throw in a semicolon and then say something like, so kind of weaving in maybe some of your call to action could be really nice, because then you're really getting to the argument of your essay. Okay, so then you're going to have your body paragraphs. Maybe you have two, maybe you have three, anywhere from maybe 2 to 4. Really doesn't matter. It just has to do with the prompt and what you have to say. And then conclusion is the mirror opposite. So if you look at the overall outline, your thesis statement, remember, we're going to respond to the prompt in a way that connects your claims into one sentence. That's another thing that the thesis needs to do. Respond to the prompt, combine your claims in one sentence, and capture the overall argument of your essay. And then your conclusion paragraph. So we've zoomed in on the body paragraph. See, the zooming in kind of picture is right in the middle of the triangles. In the middle, that's where your body paragraphs are, right in the middle of your essay. And then in your conclusion paragraph, you're just going to work the opposite. So you're going to start by restating your thesis. It can be the exact same sentence. Maybe you do the mirror opposite in your sentence. So sentence 1 is repeat the thesis. You might start with kind of like the call to action first. Maybe you switch some things around in your thesis. You could kind of put this part first and say, our society needs to continue to watch for censorship in order to protect censorship. Okay, so that kind of sentence. And then same mirror opposite. So then we're going to zoom out to the big ideas again. So in your zoom out sentence, maybe make a connection to today's world. And then you're going to end with your call to action as well. You're zooming out. Try to think beyond the book. So maybe think about the author's intention. Maybe your zoom out sentence could talk about what the author wanted to achieve by writing the book and how that connects to maybe some things that you see in our world today. Your call to action should be a specific action step. Maybe not necessarily a specific, but an action step we can take as a result of the essay. Okay, something to watch out for, something to be warned against, something that we should learn from the entire argument that you just built, because these are really, the books we read in this text that we study in these courses are really important. There's something in there for us as our society, and there's something in it for you too as a reader. So think about that. Think about something that you can give to your reader as they finish up reading your essay that could point them in the right direction based on what you just argued. All right, so that is a crash course in how to write an intro and conclusion. Good luck.